My name is Andrew Turner. I'm from Burnie, grew up in Hobart though, and I run Communion Brewing and the Chapel, both businesses, hospitality businesses in Burnie. I've always loved hospitality. I actually did a lot of hospitality in school. Technically, I have a degree in hospitality. I've always loved making people feel comfortable and at home, and I love cooking, and I love good coffee and good food and good wine and beer and everything. As long as it's good, I like it. We've always enjoyed having people in our house and entertaining, so this is just a slightly bigger version of that. So for a few years I made beer in my shed commercially for the Chapel, and then wanted to do the next step, make it a little bit bigger. Looked at doing it up there and opening more as a restaurant, but it was just a bit too small, and so we needed, this space came up and it was pretty cool, so just needed something a bit bigger where we could get musos in and have events and have a bit more of a nighttime thing. Yeah, the Chapel, both businesses have been quite a lot. The Chapel is fairly small, like it's very, very busy, but it's pretty small. There's about 15 staff up there. Down here there's closer to 30 staff, so between the two nearly 50. It's quite a big operation now, and Lydia is not a hospitality person. And she thinks that I'm completely crazy, and I am a little bit crazy, and we've worked out how to make sure that I don't do anything like this again now, because it was probably a bit too much, but we're definitely a good team. She's more of a people person, so she looks after our staff, and then I make fun things. So there's no other breweries in Burnie, and there hasn't been a brewery in Burnie for like 100 years. There was one a long time ago, and then nothing, and in fact not really anything on the northwest coast for a little while. So there's three now on the northwest coast, like on the actual coast. So there's still not that many, and I don't know what there's something inside me that just makes me want to do this sort of stuff, and I think mainly it's about me wanting to go to somewhere like this in Burnie. So when I travel, I like to go places like this, and there was nothing here like it at all, and so it's kind of mainly selfish really. I just wanted somewhere nice to go for dinner. So we have 12 beers that are kind of in our core range, but on top of that, every few months we release a special brew, and that is the fun thing. The fun thing is designing new beers and coming up with ideas and seeing if people like them. We always like them, but that doesn't mean that everyone will like them. So one of the things we did last year, the two interesting things we did in the last couple of years was a barrel-aged Imperial Oyster Stout. That's a beer brewed with a little bit of oyster shell in it, and then we barrel-age it in Javier's Road barrels, and then it's quite a strong beer, like 10%. And then the other one was a barrel-aged black IPA. So that's an IPA, which is not normally black. You've got two different beers. You've got an IPA and black beers, and different people drink those two different beers, and they don't really cross over a whole lot. So our wholesaler told us that we shouldn't do that beer because no one's going to drink it, and it ended up being the best beer at Winterfeast a few years ago. So it's always fun. Definitely a team, so it's definitely a team effort. We have, at the moment, we've got a head brewer. He's behind there canning beers as we speak, and it's a bit of a collaboration, so we might bounce ideas off each other, but at the moment Tim designs all of the beers, so he's been here for 2 years, and then I did all the brewing for the first 2 years.
Because it's very easy to drink.
So I grew up in Hobart, spent my first 20 years there. And when Lydia and I moved to Burnie, it was really only for a couple of years, and that was 22 years ago. So obviously we kind of forgot to leave. We just made some really good friends, and it's a stunning part of the world, close to the beach, close to the mountains, a little bit quieter than Hobart. And we just fell in love with it. So fell in love with the northwest coast and the people. Burnie is one of the only cities in Australia with a beachfront in its CBD, and I think that that's stunning. And if you only have to go for a 10-minute drive and you're in the middle of wilderness, you can go to a beach with not a single person on it. And so I think Burnie and the northwest coast is one of the best places in the world to live. And then Communion and the Chapel, I guess we focus on proper hospitality, where we want all of our guests to feel special and comfortable, and we've invested a fair bit in that, not only in the building, in making the building comfortable, but also in the staff. Our staff are all beautiful, and they all make every guest feel like they're special, and give them all of the attention in the world. So that's the thing that sets Communion apart from a lot of businesses. Like so much good food, and so much good wine and all of that. And you can go to other restaurants and they're amazing, but we really focus on the hospitality side, and making sure that the experience is good, not just the beer and not just the food, but the whole thing. Well, none of this would happen without Lydia. Lydia is what sort of brings it all together and makes it possible. Shared responsibility with the family, but she's the one that really makes it all happen. And now in the business as well. So for the last few years, she's been doing our people and culture role. So she makes sure that all of our staff are happy.